So you guys know that the bursting of the AI bubble is going to really suck, right? This is a reminder for myself as much as anybody else. I can sometimes get a little gleeful when I'm contemplating the end of this fraud, this sort of huge, catastrophically large bubble, but I think that's a very immature and inappropriate way to look at this. It's great that this will be terrible for the Trump administration, a lot of the fraudsters around him. This will be terrible for the leaders of big tech who've been basically lying to us for years. Long before the AI fraud, there was the crypto fraud. This has been building for quite some time. It's going to be terrible for Saudi Arabia. We're finally going to see a lot of movement in the Middle East because of the popping of this bubble. But that's not the only people who are going to get hurt. Most people in the United States that have long-term savings for retirement are heavily, heavily invested in this tech bubble. It's going to bring a great deal of hardship. If you live in the United States, you have this like awful experience of going into a Walmart or a convenience store and seeing someone who is way too old to be working retail, because we don't really have that much of a safety net anymore. Social Security doesn't go as far as it used to. And it's really, really hard to look at. Like, so we're going to get a lot more of that. People who thought they were going to be able to buy a house off of their tech stocks are not going to be able to. It is going to be catastrophic, and it's not just for the United States. The Certainly with the Trump administration and all of its lunacy, there's been some degree of decoupling, but still the rest of the world is tremendously dependent on the American consumer, that is tremendously dependent on this tech bubble. So the bursting of the tech bubble will be a good thing in that it punishes a lot of really nasty people, but it will also punish everybody else, including you and me. So it's not anything to be gleeful about. Am I sure that the bubble is bursting now? No, I think there's plenty of time for this to run. If you remember 2008, the fall of 2008 was when the stock market truly collapsed, and we saw what had happened. The real estate boom finally exploded, but there was like a 2-year process of sort of dips down, and then okay, things climb up again and dip down before the catastrophe. And I don't know that we're at the catastrophe yet, but we're well into 2007, to say the least. So don't get too excited about the bursting of the big tech bubble, because it's going to be bad for everybody.